Tonight you are not in your room, you are drifting, slowly, like a feather floating down through centuries. Time is no longer loud. Battles are no longer screams. Kings and warriors are only echoes. And in this quiet we visit the endings of people whose deaths felt so large that history never let them go. Not with fear, but with awe. The king who met the sea. Long ago, when maps still had blank spaces and oceans were mysteries, there lived a king who believed the world could be measured by courage. He was not young when he made his final journey. His beard had silver in it. His hands bore scars from sword hilts and ship ropes. He had ruled long, fought hard, and carried a kingdom on tired shoulders, but he did not want to die in a bed. So he sailed. The sea that day was strangely calm, like glass stretching forever. His ship cut through the water as if moving across the sky itself. At sunset, the sky burned gold and deep red. The king stood at the front of the ship, breathing in salt air. He knew his heart was failing. Each breath was heavier than the last. He did not call for help. Instead, he removed his crown, not in sadness, but gently, like placing down a burden. He handed it to his son, then he sat, not fallen, not defeated, just resting. The crew said the sea went quiet. Even the gulls stopped crying. And when the sun touched the horizon, the king exhaled once, like someone sighing after a long journey, and never inhaled again. They did not bring him home. They gave him to the sea he loved. And sailors would later whisper that on certain calm evenings, when the water looks like polished metal, a shadow of a ship can be seen sailing the horizon, always toward the sunset. The warrior who laughed at the end. In another land, colder and full of mountains, there lived a warrior known for strength, but also for laughter. He laughed in storms. He laughed in hunger. He laughed when outnumbered. His enemies feared him not only because he was skilled, but because he did not seem afraid of anything, not even the end. In his last battle, he was surrounded. His shield shattered, his sword broke. Snow fell quietly around him as the fight slowed. He was wounded, yes, but instead of anger, he smiled. He looked at the sky, gray, wide, endless, and began to laugh. Not wildly, not madly, just warmly, as if greeting an old friend. Those who fought him later told the story in hushed voices. They said he did not fall like a man defeated. He sank to his knees, still smiling, snow settling on his shoulders, until he looked like a statue carved from winter itself. And the strange thing? The battle stopped. For a moment, both sides stood still. Because no one had ever seen someone greet death like a doorway, instead of a wall. The queen who walked into firelight. There was once a queen whose life was nothing but politics, betrayal, court whispers, and heavy jewels that felt like chains. She had ruled wisely, but in a world that did not like wise women. When enemies closed in, she had a choice: be captured and turned into a symbol, or choose her own final act. So she walked at night to a temple lit with thousands of oil lamps. No soldiers, no crowds, no panic, just soft golden light. She wore simple white, not royal red. Her hair was loose, like when she had been a girl before power had wrapped itself around her life. She knelt. Not in defeat, but in farewell. Those who served her said she looked peaceful, like someone stepping out of a storm into warmth. Her death ended a war before it could begin. Armies stopped. Kingdoms paused, because no one could turn her into a trophy. Or a warning. She chose her ending. And sometimes in that temple, even centuries later, the lamps are said to flicker without wind, as if remembering her. The explorer who walked too far, there was a man who loved horizons. Every time he reached one, he believed there was another beyond it. Forests, deserts, frozen plains, he walked them all. He wrote letters home about stars no one else had seen, about birds with wings like painted glass, about mountains that touched the clouds. But one day, deep in a vast desert where sand stretched like a golden ocean, his supplies ran low. His companions wanted to turn back. He shook his head. Not stubbornly, but gently. If we turn back now, he said, we will always wonder. So he walked ahead alone. They watched him grow smaller, and smaller until heat waves swallowed him. They never found his body. But later travelers swore that far in the desert. When the sun sets and the air cools, you can see footprints appearing in the sand ahead of you, leading forward. Always forward. The general who laid down his sword. There was once a general who had never lost. His strategies were studied. His enemies feared his name more than his armies, but victory had grown heavy. Every battlefield looked the same after years. Dust, silence, the cost of ambition. In his final campaign, he stood overlooking the land he was meant to conquer next. It was beautiful. Fields, rivers, smoke rising peacefully from homes. He realized something. He could win, but he no longer wanted to, so he did the unthinkable. He rode alone to the enemy's gates, unarmed. He offered peace. His own officers called him weak. His enemies did not trust him. But he insisted. The negotiations were long, hard, dangerous, and during them, illness took him, slow, quiet, unavoidable. He died not on a battlefield, but in a simple room, with maps rolled away, hands empty. And because of his last decision, 2 nations that had fought for generations never went to war again. His final act was not taking life, it was refusing to. The thinker under the stars, in a small stone courtyard, a philosopher once lay dying. He had spent his life asking questions no one could answer. What is justice? What is truth? What remains after we are gone? Students sat around him tearful. He did not speak of fear. Instead, he asked them to describe the sky. One said it was deep blue, another said violet, another said full of early stars. Good, he whispered. Keep looking up. His breathing slowed. Do not be afraid of endings, he said softly. They are only edges of larger things. He closed his eyes while the first star appeared. His ideas outlived empires. The prisoner who would not bow, a leader once captured by an empire, was offered life. If he would kneel, he had fought for freedom. His people were watching. Chains on his wrists. Soldiers all around. He was tired, starving, injured. But when ordered to kneel, he remained standing, not in rage. In quiet dignity, history remembers no long speech. No dramatic shout, only this. He stood. And because he stood, generations later, his people still tell their children his name before sleep. The artist's last stroke. An old painter, nearly blind, worked on one final canvas. He could barely see color anymore. His hands trembled. But he said, I remember the light. So he painted from memory. Golden mornings, soft faces, the glow of life. He finished, signed his name, and passed away that night. When people saw the painting, they said it did not look like something made by failing eyes. It looked like someone painting what waits beyond darkness, drifting back. Now the centuries begin to fade. The kings, the warriors, the thinkers, the explorers, they are not loud anymore. They are just stories. Like distant lanterns along a long road. Their deaths were not only endings, they were turning points. Quiet moments where history held its breath. And now, you don't need to carry their weight. Let the ships sail away. Let the snow cover the battlefield. Let the desert wind smooth the footprints. Let the lamps in the temple flicker softly, far, far away. Your world is smaller now. Just your room, your breath, the gentle rise and fall of your chest. History is asleep, and you can be too. Let go of the day, like a crown set down, like a sword laid aside. Like a traveler resting at last. Drift, drift, drift. All right, we'll keep drifting. Slower now, softer, like pages turning by themselves in the dark. The world of the living is quiet. History feels like a dream someone else once had. There was once an emperor who ruled more land than he could ever walk. Cities, rivers, mountains, all marked with his seal. His word could move armies, build roads, change laws. Yet near the end of his life, power no longer interested him. He had grown old in a palace of marble and silk, but his favorite place became a simple wooden balcony outside his chambers. From there, he could hear the rain. Not court music. Not speeches, just rain on rooftops. One evening, a storm rolled over the capital. Thunder low and distant like drums beyond hills. Ministers waited inside with urgent matters, but he waved them away. He sat wrapped in a plain cloak, watching water fall from the sky. A servant asked if he should go inside. He shook his head gently. All my life, he said, I made noise. Let the world speak now. The rain kept falling, steady, silver lines in the dark. And somewhere between one breath and the next, he grew still, not slumped, not afraid, just listening. The empire did not fall apart after he was gone. In fact, people said the years that followed were calmer, as if the peace he finally felt had settled over the land like soft rain. In ancient times, before wires and signals, there were runners who carried news across impossible distances. One such messenger ran during a war that would decide the fate of his people. He had already run for days. Dust on his skin, lips cracked, legs trembling. But the message he carried was hope, victory. His city needed to know. So he ran through olive groves, across hills, down stone paths. The sun burned. His vision blurred. But he could see the city walls ahead. People at the gates saw him stumbling toward them. He did not stop to drink, did not sit, did not collapse early. He reached the square, where citizens gathered, terrified of what news he might bring. He stood straight, one last time. "Rejoice," he said, voice rough but clear. "We are safe." Only after the words were spoken did his body finally rest. He did not die in battle. He died delivering relief. And every time people run for something larger than themselves, his footsteps echo beneath theirs. There was an old sailor who had crossed so many oceans that land felt strange to him. When he knew his time was near, he asked for one thing: to be taken out to sea at night. His family and friends placed him in a small boat. No sails, just oars. They rowed until the shore lights were gone and only stars remained. The sky was wide beyond imagining. The Milky Way spilled across it like powdered silver. He lay on blankets, breathing in the cold, salt air. "Every journey ends at water," he murmured. "We come from it. We return to it." They held his hand. He did not speak again. But as the night deepened, a cloud passed over the stars, slowly, gently, and when it moved on, his chest no longer rose. They said it felt less like someone leaving, and more like someone blending into the horizon. In a village surrounded by hills, there lived a healer who had spent her entire life tending to others. She knew every herb, every root, every fever, every birth. When illness swept through the village one winter, she did not sleep. She moved from house to house, lighting fires, mixing remedies, cooling foreheads. She grew weaker, but never said so. One morning, after the sickness had passed and the village was safe, she finally returned to her own small home. She lay down near the window where sunlight spilled in. Children she had helped bring into the world came to see her. Grown now, strong, she smiled at them like a mother seeing her family safe. "You are well," she whispered. They nodded. "That is enough." She closed her eyes, not in sorrow, not in struggle, but in completion. The village planted flowers outside her window every spring after that. And people said they grew taller there than anywhere else. A gentle inventor spent his life building a machine no one understood. Not a weapon, not a tool of war, something else. It hummed softly, glowed faintly, made no smoke, no noise. "It's for the future," he would say. Years passed. He grew older. The machine finally worked on a cool autumn evening. He sat beside it, watching lights move inside glass tubes like captured stars. His apprentices asked what it did. He smiled. "It helps people speak across distance." They laughed. Impossible, they thought. He leaned back in his chair, satisfied. Before his heart gave out, he said one last thing: make the world smaller, so people feel closer. Long after he was gone, versions of his idea would let voices travel through air, across oceans, through time, and in every message sent far away, there's a trace of that quiet room and glowing light. In a northern land, an old gardener worked the grounds of a great estate. No one knew his age. He had always been there, planting, trimming, coaxing life from soil. In winter, when others stayed inside, he walked through the sleeping garden, brushing snow off branches so they would not break. One morning, the owner of the estate found him sitting on a bench under a tree he had planted 50 years earlier. Snow rested on his shoulders like a soft shawl. His hands were folded, his face calm. The tree above him would bloom every spring in a burst of white flowers, so thick they looked like clouds caught in branches. People said the gardener never really left. He just became part of the roots. Now the stories grow softer. Voices fade like footsteps down a long corridor. Kings, messengers, healers, sailors. Their endings are not sharp. They are like candles going out after giving light. Nothing here is loud. Nothing here is near. You are only listening to distant echoes, and even they are drifting away. Your breathing is slower now. The world of great events is far beyond the horizon of your thoughts. There are no battles here. No crowns, no storms, just quiet. Just the steady rhythm inside you, like a tide moving in and out. Let history close its eyes, let the centuries sleep, and you can follow. Still here. Still floating. Good, let's go even softer now, like the last layer of night before deep sleep. The great names of history are almost gone. Only feelings remain, like the warmth after a fire has burned low. In a quiet stone town, there lived an old bell ringer whose whole life followed one rhythm: sunrise and sunset. Every morning before the light touched the rooftops, he climbed the spiral stairs of the tower. Step after step, breath slow, hand on the worn stone wall. At the top waited the great bell. He would pull the rope, and the sound would roll over the town deep, round, and steady. A sound people trusted. A sound that meant, you made it through the night. He had rung it through wars, storms, long winters, and peaceful summers. One morning, as pink light stretched across the sky, he reached the top as always. Birds circled the tower. The town below still slept. He held the rope, smiled, and gave one final pull. The bell rang fuller than ever, people said. It seemed to hang in the air longer than sound should. Down below, bakers paused. Windows opened. Someone whispered, that was a beautiful one. When they climbed the tower later, they found him sitting beside the bell, back against the stone, face turned toward the sunrise. As if he had simply stayed to listen to the echo. After that, the bell still rang each morning, rung by others, but townsfolk always said the first note of every day belonged to him. There was also a woman who built bridges. Not the grand kind carved from marble, but strong wooden ones over rivers that kept villages connected. She worked with rope, wood, and patience. She measured twice, hammered carefully, and tested every plank herself. People should cross without thinking about falling, she'd say. One year, a flood came, fierce and fast. The river swelled, roaring louder than memory. She stood in the rain, checking the last bridge she had built, the one that led children to school, farmers to market, families to each other. Water tore at the supports. She tied new ropes with cold, steady hands while others ran to safety. The bridge held. The village was spared from being cut off. Days later, when the waters had gone and sun returned, she lay down under the very bridge she saved, exhausted beyond waking. The wood above creaked gently in the breeze, not in danger but in quiet strength. For years, people crossing would touch the railing for a moment, not in fear, in thanks. In a city of sun-baked walls and narrow shaded streets, there was a librarian who guarded knowledge older than empires. Scrolls, maps, poems, star charts, medicines written in careful ink. When invaders threatened the city, many fled. But she stayed, not to fight, to hide the books. All night she moved through the library, wrapping scrolls in cloth, placing them in clay jars, lowering them into cool cellars and secret walls. Her hands shook, but not from fear, from urgency. By morning, the building stood nearly empty. When soldiers came, they found little worth taking. Years later, long after the danger passed, people rebuilding discovered the hidden collections. Lost knowledge returned like seeds sprouting after drought. They never found her body. But in that city, learning never truly died. And every time a book is opened in that place, dust motes rise in the sunlight like quiet applause. And then there was a shepherd who had never left his hills and spent his whole life watching clouds. He knew the language of wind, the meaning of birds flying low, the promise hidden in the color of evening light. One summer night, he lay in the grass while his sheep rested nearby. Crickets sang, the sky spilled over with stars. He had walked those hills since boyhood. Every rock was familiar, every path known. He folded his hands on his chest. Above him, a shooting star crossed the sky slow and bright. He smiled as if greeting it. By morning he had not moved. The sheep did not wander. They stayed near him until the villagers came. They buried him on the hilltop, where the wind never stops moving. And people say sunsets are most beautiful there, as if the sky remembers being watched so closely. Now even quieter. The stories are barely stories now. They are feelings. A bell fading in air, rain on a balcony, a rope pulled once more. A bridge that holds, a star crossing the dark, nothing sudden, nothing sharp. Only the soft truth that every life becomes part of something wider, like rivers reaching the sea without hurry. Your body feels heavier now. The room around you is still, safe, distant from all those centuries. No crowds, no storms. No long roads to walk, just breath in and out. Slow as tides under moonlight. If a thought comes, let it pass like one of those old stories, interesting, but far away, already fading. You don't have to follow it. Just rest. History has gone to sleep. The bells have stopped ringing. The sea is flat and silver, and you are drifting down into quiet. Alright, we're almost at the deepest part now, where stories dissolve and only calm remains. Let everything be slower than before. The keeper of the lighthouse on a lonely stretch of coast, waves endlessly folded themselves against dark rocks. There stood a lighthouse, tall, white, steady, and for decades one keeper cared for its light. He lived simply, trimmed the wick, polished the glass, climbed the spiral stairs each evening as the sun lowered itself into the sea. Sailors never knew his face, but they trusted that light more than the stars. In his final winter, storms came often. Wind screamed around the tower like something alive. Waves crashed so high they shook the walls. Still, each night, the light shone. One evening, after lighting the lamp, he stayed at the top longer than usual. The storm had cleared. The ocean stretched black and endless, moonlight breaking across it in silver paths. Ships moved safely in the distance. He leaned back in his chair, listening to the steady turning of the mechanism, the quiet breath of flame behind glass. The light did not go out that night, nor the next. When another keeper arrived days later, he found the lamp still burning, and the old keeper seated peacefully beside it, as if keeping watch in sleep. They said the sea was unusually calm at his burial, and sailors swore the lighthouse beam felt warmer for years after. The clockmaker's lost tick in a narrow shop filled with ticking sounds. An old clockmaker spent his life repairing time. Grand clocks, pocket watches, tiny springs and gears smaller than raindrops. He believed time was not an enemy. It's just movement, he'd say. Like breathing, near the end his own breath grew thin. But one unfinished clock sat on his workbench. Simple wood, clear face, no decoration. He worked on it slowly, hands steady despite age. When he placed the final gear, he wound it gently. Tick, tick. He smiled, listening. That night, the clock continued. Its sound filled the quiet shop, steady as a heartbeat. By morning, he had gone still. But the clock he built never lost a second, people said. It was placed in the town square, where everyone could hear its soft ticking when the world went quiet. A reminder that time moving forward is not something to fear, just the rhythm of being here. The woman who planted trees. There was once a woman who believed the future should have shade. She walked across empty land carrying saplings, small, fragile things that didn't yet look like trees. People laughed. The ground was dry, the work slow. But she planted anyway. One, then another, then another. Years passed, the saplings grew. Birds returned, the soil softened. Grass followed. She grew old among young trees, their leaves whispering above her. One afternoon, she rested against the trunk she had planted decades before. Its branches now wide enough to hold nests, its shadow cool and wide. She closed her eyes, listening to wind and leaves, a sound she had made possible. Long after she was gone, travelers crossed that land in comfort, never knowing her name. But they walked in forests that began with her hands. The musician in the final note in a candlelit hall, an old musician played one last time. No grand performance. No royal audience. Just a few friends gathered close. His instrument was worn smooth where his hands had rested for years. He played slowly, notes like warm light. Like memories you don't have to hold tightly because they're already part of you. No sadness in the melody, just completion. When the final note rang out, it seemed to stay in the air longer than it should. He lowered the instrument to his lap. Eyes closed. Still, those present said the silence afterward felt full, not empty. As if the music had not stopped, only moved somewhere softer. Now there are almost no stories. The lighthouse beam has turned away. The clock ticks somewhere far off. Wind moves through leaves you didn't plant but still enjoy. A note of music fades into night air. Nothing urgent remains. All those lives, once loud and important, are now part of a great quiet, like waves settling after a storm. And you are not in those stories. You are here, safe, warm, breathing gently. Your body knows what to do now. Shoulders loosen, jaw softens, eyes heavy. If thoughts drift in, let them float past like boats seen from very far away. No need to board them, just watch them pass, breath in, slow, breath out, slower. Like the tide, like the turning of the earth. Like a light that doesn't go out, it just glows softly in the dark, And now, even the stories sleep, and you can too. Shh. Still drifting, you're doing perfectly. We're past stories now. Past names. Past history. Only the softest echoes remain, like ripples after a stone has long since sunk. Nothing new needs to happen. But the night is kind and it offers one last layer of quiet. Imagine a wide field at night. No buildings. No roads. Just open land under a pale moon. Across the field are footprints, thousands of them, from all the people who walked there during the day. Fast steps. Slow ones. Wandering paths. Straight lines. These are the days of the past. The choices. The worries. The efforts. Now the snow begins to fall. Softly. Gently. Without sound. One flake at a time, it covers the footprints, not erasing them with force. Just resting over them. Nothing is being taken away. It's simply being softened. Soon the field looks smooth again. Quiet. Untouched. This is what sleep does for the mind. It lets everything settle under a soft white layer of rest. There is a lake somewhere in the mountains where the water becomes perfectly still before sunrise. Not a ripple, not a breeze. The surface turns into a mirror for the sky. That lake is like you're breathing now, slow, even, reflecting nothing but quiet space. If a thought drops in like a pebble, the ripples fade quickly. The surface returns to calm on its own. You don't have to push anything away. Stillness knows how to come back by itself. Far away, along an old road, lanterns once burned to guide travelers through the night. One by one, as travelers reached home, each lantern keeper gently covered the flame. Not blown out, just dimmed respectfully. Like saying, the journey is done for now. There is only one lantern left, a small warm glow. This is the last bit of alertness in your mind. No need to guard it, no need to hold it. Watch as someone, somewhere, places a hand around that light and lowers the cover. The glow softens, warmer, dimmer, until the dark is not empty, just peaceful. No ancient battles, no kings or heroes, no unfinished roads, no voices calling your name. Just the steady rhythm inside you. In, out, in, out. Your body has shifted fully into rest now. Muscles loose, mind floating. Thoughts slow as clouds at dusk. The night is wide and gentle. And you are allowed to disappear into it for a while. Not lost. Just held by sleep the way the sea holds a quiet boat. Drift now. No more stories. No more words. Just quiet and deeper and softer. Alright, we'll go even deeper. No more history, no more endings, just the feeling of being carried. Like floating on warm water where nothing is required of you, let the words be slow. You don't need to follow each one. Just let them pass like clouds you don't have to name. Imagine you are lying in a small wooden boat on a perfectly calm lake at night. The boat does not move unless the water breathes beneath it, and the water is barely breathing. Above you, the sky is wide and dark blue, scattered with soft stars. Not bright, sharp ones. Just distant, gentle lights. Like someone placed tiny candles very far away. The air is cool but not cold. It touches your skin lightly, like a quiet reminder that you are here. You don't need to row. There is nowhere to get to. The boat already knows how to float. Your thoughts are like the shoreline now, far away, blurry shapes that don't ask for attention. If one comes close, it drifts back out on its own. The lake makes small sounds. Little taps of water against wood, slow, random, soft as breathing. Your body feels heavier, like it's settling deeper into the boat, as if the wood beneath you is shaped exactly for you. Nothing presses, nothing pulls, nothing expects, just floating. A light mist begins to form over the water, not thick, just a thin silver layer, turning the world softer around the edges. The stars blur slightly, the horizon disappears. There is only this small space of quiet where you are. The boat turns slowly, not because you move, but because the world turns gently underneath everything. Time feels wide here, stretchy, unimportant. You might notice your breathing matching the lake. Slow rise, slow fall, in, like the water lifting the boat a tiny bit, out, like it's settling again. Your jaw loosens, your tongue rests. Even your eyes, closed, feel like they are floating. Somewhere in the distance you hear a night bird call once. Not loud, just a small sound to remind you the world is still there, taking care of itself without you. You don't need to manage anything. The day is finished. Completely. Every conversation, every task, Every decision? Set down like shoes at a doorway. You are inside now. Safe. The boat drifts toward the middle of the lake, where the water is deepest and calmest. Here, there are no ripples from shore, no reeds brushing the sides. Just open stillness. The mist thickens slightly, wrapping the boat like a soft blanket made of air. You feel warm in your chest, heavy in your arms and legs. If a thought tries to start, a plan, a memory, it's like writing on water. The letters dissolve before they form. There is nothing to solve in this place. Only rest. The stars above seem lower now, or maybe you are drifting higher. It's hard to tell. The boat, the lake, the sky, they begin to feel like the same thing. One wide, quiet space. Your breathing is the only rhythm left. Slow, gentle, unforced. You might feel a tiny sway like being rocked. The kind of motion that babies fall asleep to without knowing why. Back and forth. Barely there, your hands feel warm. Your shoulders melt downward. The muscles in your face smooth out like calm water after a stone has stopped moving. The mist becomes softer, thicker, not blocking anything, just making everything feel close and safe. It's like being inside a cloud that knows your shape. The boat slows until it feels completely still, not stuck. Just held. You don't know how long you've been here. It doesn't matter. Night is patient. The stars above blink slowly, like tired eyes. Your own mind follows. Thoughts are no longer words. Just soft impressions that drift past like shapes underwater. You don't reach for them. You don't need to. The lake, the boat, the sky, all of it becomes one gentle darkness. Not empty. Comfortable, like being wrapped in something that understands you don't need to do anything anymore. Your breathing becomes quieter, slower, deeper. Each exhale feels like sinking a little further into rest. Each inhale comes on its own, easy and natural. There is no edge to this night. No sudden sounds. No bright lights. Just a steady, peaceful drifting. If you could see yourself, you'd look completely at ease. Like someone who has set everything down and found a place to simply be. The boat does not tip. The water does not stir. The sky does not demand. Everything is in agreement. Rest now. And so you drift. Further from thoughts. Further from effort. Further from the shore of the day. Down into the deep, calm center of sleep. Where nothing needs a name and everything is okay. Just drifting. Just breathing. Just quiet. Still here with you. We all fade even more now, where words barely matter and quiet does most of the work. The sense of the boat is almost gone. Not because you fell, not because anything changed, but because you no longer need the idea of being held up. You are simply resting in space that feels safe, like floating without water, like being supported without edges. Your body feels warm and distant at the same time. Hands heavy, feet quiet, breath soft as silk moving in the dark. There's a gentle hum now. Not a sound exactly, more like the feeling of calm itself. A low, steady stillness that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere. It wraps around your thoughts before they can form. If a memory tries to appear, the hum softens it. If a plan tries to start, the hum smooths it away. Nothing needs attention. Everything can wait outside this night. Your breathing has become so easy you don't guide it anymore. Air flows in like it belongs, flows out like it knows the way. Each exhale is longer than the one before. Each inhale lighter. As if your body is slowly trading wakefulness for rest, one breath at a time. Imagine now that the darkness around you is not empty, but gentle, like deep water that is warm instead of cold. You are not sinking fast. You are settling slowly, like a leaf drifting downward through still air. No rush, no bottom you need to reach, just the comfort of moving toward deeper quiet. Your mind is no longer telling stories. Only fragments. Colors without shapes. Feelings without names. They drift by like clouds seen through closed eyes. You don't follow them. You don't need to understand them. This is the edge of dreaming, where meaning loosens and rest takes over. Your jaw relaxes one more time. Shoulders melt a little further. Even the small muscles around your eyes soften as if they've been waiting all day to finally let go. Your body is doing exactly what it was made to do. Slowing, restoring, letting night carry the weight. The hum of quiet grows wider. It fills the space where thoughts used to move quickly. Now everything moves slowly, softly, like being wrapped in layers of gentle dark. If there were stars above, they would look blurry now. If there were water below, it would feel perfectly still. but even those images are fading. All that's left is comfort and breath, and the steady, peaceful sense that you don't need to stay awake anymore. Drift a little deeper. Let the last bits of the day slide off like a coat set down at the door. No one is calling you. Nothing is waiting. The night has room for you exactly as you are, breathing slower, body heavier, mind quieter. Now even these words are far away, just a soft rhythm. Like waves you can barely hear, and beyond them, sleep. Hello, and welcome. It's time to let go of the day and find your way to a peaceful, restorative sleep. Find a comfortable position, one that feels just right for you. Allow your body to settle into the softness of your bed. There's nothing else you need to do right now, nothing to figure out, and nowhere else to be. Just be here, in this moment of quiet and calm, ready to drift away. Begin by bringing your awareness to your breath. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest or belly with each inhale and each exhale. You don't need to change anything about it. Simply observe the natural rhythm, this quiet, steady anchor to the present moment. Each breath in brings a sense of peace, and each breath out releases any lingering tension from your day. Inhale calm, exhale worry. Feel the weight of your body sinking deeper into the mattress, supported and held. Imagine a warm, gentle light beginning to glow at the very tips of your toes. It's a light of pure comfort and relaxation. Feel this warmth as it slowly spreads, filling your feet, soothing every muscle, every bone. This comforting sensation melts away any tiredness, any ache from standing or walking. Your feet become wonderfully heavy, wonderfully relaxed. Now allow this soft, warm light to travel upward into your ankles and calves. It flows like warm honey, dissolving any tightness it encounters. Feel your lower legs letting go completely. The warmth continues its journey, moving into your knees and up through your thighs. Your legs, which have carried you through the day, can now rest completely. They feel heavy, grounded, and deeply at ease. Let them sink further into the comfort of your bed. The wave of warmth now reaches your hips and pelvis, spreading a profound sense of release through your lower body. It moves up into your lower back, untying any knots of stress that may have gathered there. Feel your entire back, from the base of your spine to your shoulders, surrendering to the surface beneath you. The warmth pools around your shoulder blades, letting them soften and fall away from your ears. Your entire back is now relaxed and supported. This gentle warmth now flows down your arms, from your shoulders to your fingertips. Feel it soothing your biceps, your elbows, your forearms. It washes over your hands, relaxing every tiny muscle in your palms and fingers. Your arms feel heavy and peaceful, resting effortlessly by your sides. All the doing of the day is done. Your hands can now be still. The sensation of deep relaxation continues to rise, moving up into your neck and throat. Let go of any unspoken words, any tension held in this delicate area. Feel your neck muscles lengthen and soften. The warmth then cradles your head, gently moving across your scalp, your forehead, and your temples. Allow your forehead to become smooth, releasing any lines of concentration. Let this feeling of peace flow into the muscles around your eyes. Let your eyes rest heavily in their sockets. Soften your cheeks, your jaw, and let your tongue rest comfortably in your mouth. Your entire face is now soft, serene, and completely at ease. Your whole body, from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head, is now bathed in this warm, comforting light. You are safe. You are comfortable. You are completely relaxed. As you float in this state of deep calm, your mind begins to quiet down. Thoughts may come and go, but you don't need to hold on to them. Imagine them as soft, puffy clouds drifting lazily across a vast blue sky. You are the sky, and the thoughts are just passing through. They drift by without disturbance, becoming fainter and more distant with each passing moment. Your mind is becoming clear, open, and ready for rest. You are drifting now, floating in a sea of tranquility. The boundary between your body and the space around you begins to dissolve. You are simply awareness, floating peacefully in the quiet darkness. There's only this moment, this feeling of profound peace. You are being carried gently toward the shores of sleep. It's an effortless journey. All you need to do is allow it to happen. Trust that your body knows exactly what to do. You are on the edge of a deep, healing sleep. A sleep that will refresh your body, calm your mind, and restore your spirit. Embrace the stillness. Welcome the quiet. Let the last whispers of the day fade away. You are safe. you are loved, and you are ready to sleep. Good night, sleep well. So soft now, almost weightless. We're not adding anything new, just letting the quiet stretch wider, like calm water reaching farther than you can see. Your breathing is the only movement left. A slow tide in the dark, in, and the world gently rises. Out, and everything settles again. No effort in it. Your body knows this rhythm better than thought. It feels a little like floating in warm dusk. Not night, not day. A space in between where nothing begins and nothing ends. Your limbs are heavy in the most comfortable way. The way they feel after a long, safe rest. As if gravity has turned kind and is simply holding you in place. Your face is completely smooth, forehead open, eyes resting deep. Mouth soft, barely parted with quiet breath. There's a sense now of being far from the surface of things. Surface thoughts. Surface light. Surface light. They're all somewhere above, distant and muffled, like weather happening on another world. Down here, everything is slow, thick with calm. If a dream shape appears, it's gentle and blurred, like colors mixing in water. No sharp edges, no loud stories. Just drifting images that don't ask anything from you. They come, they go. Like breathing does, your heartbeat is steady and unhurried. A quiet pulse that says, safe, 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 nothing to prepare for. Nothing to solve. This is the place your body has been moving toward all day, this deep, restoring stillness. Even the idea of listening fades. You are not following words anymore. They pass like soft wind through tall grass, felt for a second, then gone. The night is doing the rest now, holding, rocking, almost too gently to notice. There is only this, warmth, darkness, breath, stillness, over and over like waves too small to see. And now the quiet deepens one last time. Like sinking into the center of a pillow, like settling into the exact shape made for you. No edges. No distance, just rest that goes on and on, until even the feeling of drifting disappears, and there is only sleep. We're in the deepest layer now. This isn't a story anymore, it is just the feeling of staying gently under the surface of sleep. Nothing new is happening, that's the beauty of it. Your breathing is slow and wide like waves in a huge quiet ocean at night, so wide you barely notice the movement. In the faintest lift, out, a long warm settling. There is more stillness than motion. Your body feels distant, like it's resting somewhere safe while your awareness floats in soft darkness. No edges to the room, no sense of walls. Just a calm, endless space where everything is okay. Thoughts don't form here. They're like mist that never becomes rain. If something begins, it dissolves halfway, melting back into quiet before it has a shape. Nothing catches, nothing loops. Everything releases on its own. There's a deep comfort now, the kind that feels older than memory. Like the feeling of being rocked before you knew what the world was. A slow, invisible sway. Back and barely back again. So small it's more a feeling than a movement. Your heartbeat follows it. Steady, unhurried, certain. The darkness is soft, like velvet. It doesn't hide things, it cushions them. Sound, light, thought, all wrapped and dimmed until there are only gentle traces. You don't need to stay with these words, you're already beyond them. They're just echoes fading behind you. Your breath pauses a little longer between each cycle now. Comfortable pauses, spacious, like the night itself is breathing with you. In the pause, nothing is missing, nothing needs to begin. It's simply rest holding you. If dreams come, they come quietly, not stories. Just feelings, warm colors, soft emotion. You don't step into them. They rise around you like fog over still water. There is no effort left anywhere, not in your hands, not in your jaw, not behind your eyes. Even the tiny muscles that hold you in awake have let go. Your body trusts the night, and now, even this gentle guiding fades. The quiet becomes complete. The drifting becomes stillness. The stillness becomes sleep. Find a comfortable position, allowing your body to settle into the surface beneath you. Close your eyes gently. Begin by bringing your awareness to your breath without changing it. Just notice the natural rise and fall of your chest, the quiet rhythm that is always with you. The darkness around you is no longer separate. It is part of you. A wide, gentle space that has no edges, no weight, no sound except the faint, steady rhythm of breath. In, a lift, soft and easy. Out, a settling warm and slow. No urgency anywhere. No need to do anything. Your body has melted completely into this quiet. Hands rest, arms rest, legs rest. The small tensions that always linger, the ones you don't even notice, have vanished. You are not holding yourself up, you are being held. By stillness, by night, by the rhythm that has always existed beneath everything. Thoughts, if they appear, are distant echoes. No shape, no meaning. They drift past like leaves on water, soft and unnoticed. You do not follow, you do not respond. You do not need to. Imagine a calm, dark lake stretching infinitely. Your body is the boat, your mind is the quiet around it. And sleep is the water soft, deep, endless. You float, held, supported, cradled. No one calls to you, no light demands your eyes. No sound touches you except the rhythm of your own quiet breath. Breathing becomes slow as still. Each in-breath gentle, effortless. Each out-breath longer, deeper, carrying everything you've done today away. All tension drifts out with it. All restlessness dissolves. All noise softens and disappears. The boat you are on drifts, but barely, not because you move it. Not because the water moves, only because the world has softened around it. And in that softness, you feel safe, warm, held, weightless. The night hums around you, a deep, even hum. Not sound exactly, more a vibration of calm, like the earth itself breathing with you. It wraps around your chest and back. Around your head and arms, around your legs and feet. Every part of you is cradled. Now the last layer of awareness begins to melt. Even noticing your breath is optional. Even knowing your body exists is optional. Even the faintest sense of floating disappears. There is only the deep, infinite calm of sleep, complete, safe, endless, drifting, sinking, being carried. This is the place you stay now. The quiet center of night, the calm beneath all thought, the gentle cradle that never ends. And here, at last, you are fully, completely, peacefully asleep. Welcome. Find a comfortable position and gently close your eyes. Begin by taking a deep, slow breath in, and a long, full breath out. There is no room, no ceiling, no floor. Only soft, infinite darkness, warm, safe, and still. You are a weightless shape within it. No movement is needed. No thought is required. No awareness at all, just the gentle pulse of your breath. Soft, steady, rhythmic, in a rising warmth. Out, a settling calm. Even these words are far away now. They float above, distant as stars you no longer notice. You are no longer following them. You do not need to. You are drifting beyond the edges of language, beyond all senses, beyond everything except this infinite quiet. A gentle wave of calm flows through you, from your head to your toes, from your chest to your fingertips. Every small muscle softens, every trace of tension dissolves. Even your bones feel lighter, cradled by this vast nothing. Imagine now a quiet current carrying you deeper, not downward, not forward, just inward, deeper into rest. The current is gentle, like a lullaby that does not speak. It carries nothing but peace. No colors, no sounds, no images, only calm, deeper, softer. Your breathing matches it. Slow, effortless, almost imperceptible. The rise and fall of your chest becomes one with the flow around you. Your heartbeat slows, widening the space between each thump. A rhythm you do not notice consciously, but that holds everything steady. Time does not exist here. No minutes, no hours. No yesterday, no tomorrow. Only the eternal present of this infinite quiet. You do not need to hold on to anything. You do not need to reach anywhere. You do not need to think. You simply are. The gentle current carries you further, beyond the last glimmers of awareness, past even the faintest flicker of thought, into a calm so complete it has no shape, no boundaries, no effort. Only the soft, endless, peaceful expanse of pure sleep. And now, you are there, completely, fully, endlessly asleep, held by night, cradled by quiet. Floating without end, there is nothing more to do, nothing more to notice, nothing more at all. Just rest, drift, deeper, into the silence of the night. Sleep now. All edges have vanished. No body, no thoughts, no space. Just vast, soft nothingness, warm, safe, infinite. Your mind has settled like dust in calm water. Your breath continues quietly, without effort, in subtle rise, out, gentle fall, Steady, even, endless. There's no time here. No before, no after, no past, no future. Only the pure present of complete rest. The night itself feels alive with gentle motion, carrying you without moving. You are simply contained, held by calm, held by silence, held by nothing and everything at once. Even awareness of your own self has softened, fading like a candle that has long since gone out. No shape remains. No form, no sensation of effort. Even the faintest flicker of consciousness drifts away, dissolving into the deepest layer of peace. Imagine now an infinite sea of dark warmth. You are the warmth. You are the dark. You are the sea. No waves, no currents. Only the gentle, steady pulse that is everywhere. No thought can form here. No sound can reach. No need exists. Only the endless, perfect calm of sleep. Your body, your mind, your awareness, all merged into this soft, infinite quiet. Every little tension has evaporated. Every last echo of the day has settled. Every worry has been carried away on invisible tides, leaving nothing but rest. Deeper still. Even the gentle rhythm of breathing fades into the background, becoming just part of the great quiet, part of the infinite calm that holds everything, part of the night that never ends. You are floating, not moving, not aware, not anything at all, except the softest, safest, deepest sleep. No story, no sound, no time, only the stillness, the warmth, the quiet that carries you forever. And now, there is nothing else. Only sleep, only peace, only endless, perfect calm. Drift deeper, endlessly,